Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creative Stampin' Designs. My name is Karen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Central New Jersey, and we are going to make a card today. Just going to make sure I'm live in the right spot. Looks like I believe I am. Okay. If you're hopping on, say hi. Let me know where you're from. All right. I have a fun fold card, a different fun fold card one that I've never done today for you. Right. And I am using the Autumn Leaves bundle. I'm using the whole, I believe, oh goodness, I can't remember the name. I think it's called All About Autumn Suite. I'm using the pretty much the whole suite today. Um, but I'm using the Autumn Leaves bundle. I did some of the prep work ahead of time because the fun fold is something different that I haven't done, and I want to make sure I focus on that part. So I did cut some of the leaves out. I want to emboss the leaves also. I did not do that yet. That's the only part I did not do. So I have the embossing folder, which is the distressed tile embossing folder. And I was hesitant about it at the beginning, whether I wanted it or not. And then once I got it and used it, it's really nice. Okay, so we're going to get started. Like I said, I have most of the things are already cut. These down so I need them. Okay. And I'm just going to go over a couple reminders actually, let me do it real quick. It's time to redeem your bonus coupons. You have until the 31st of August. After that, they're not good anymore. So don't forget to get your orders in and redeem your coupons. It's pretty easy right on the at the checkout. There's a spot that says apply coupons and you just put your code in there. If you have lost your code or you can't find the email, just contact Stampin' Up! And I'm sure they'll be able to help you out. The other thing, well, right now we do have the kit sale going on right now. And again, that is also until August 31st. And it's up to 30% off the kits in the kids collection. And you can find that if you go to the online store and you click on, I believe it's you click on products and there's a spot that says kit collections, right? And the last thing, I have my paper shares going on right now. It's a sampling of all the beautiful DSP from this catalog, which I am already finding I'm going to be buying more packs of certain ones. The DSP this time around was really, really nice. I don't know if there's one that I don't like. But what you get is a sampling of each of the DSPs. It's enough to do at least one regular size card. And if you cut it up right, you can do a few cards and just put pieces on the different ones. But I have that going on right now. Just visit my blog at creativestampindesigns.com and all the information's there. Just send me an email with your name, address, and the email address where the PayPal invoice would go to. You do not need to have PayPal to use this, to pay for it. You can pay on PayPal with a credit card. All right. Hi, Amy. Hi, Carol. Okay, let me get started. So I have two panels of Moody Mauve. They are the exact same. They are 5.5 by 6.25, and I am going to score them now. I didn't do this ahead of time. Get my cutting thing out of the way because I've known to cut instead of score. So I'm going to score on the 6.25 inch side, or well, yeah, the 5.5 inch. You want this along here, okay? And we are going to score. They're both going to get scored the same at 1.5, 2 3/4, and 4 5/8. Just make sure. Off that little bit, and I don't want to be off at all. Okay, and we're going to do, whoops, the other one the same exact way, 1 1/2. Sure, that's the right side. 2 3/4, and 4 5/8. Right, 4 4 5/8. Okay, and that's it with the scoring. Whoops, I'm knocking everything over. Jeez, I just started. Okay, so on each of these, we want, I believe this is the 1 1/2, and it's, I have checked and double checked multiple times just to be sure. Okay, so the 1 1/2 inch is going to be a mountain fold. And then the 2 3/4 inch is going to be a valley, and so is the 4 5/8 inch. Okay, so again, I'm going to make sure. So the 1 1/2 is a mountain, and then the 2 3/4 is a valley. I just did that the wrong way. I just did them all mountain. Okay, make sure that I get, see, that's why I was, there's your mountain, valley, and valley. Sorry about that. I was saying valley and doing mountain. Okay, so it's going to look like that. So make sure I have the right one again. So there's your mountain. 2 3/4 is a valley, and 4 5/8 is a valley. Okay. So we have two identical. Okay, but this one we're going to put like this because you want the 1 1/2 inch. And again, I keep measuring to make sure I have the right ones on the outside. You want your 1 1/2 inch on the outside, and the 4 5/8 inch fold on the inside. So these two are going to go together. Right? And I can't put any tape. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just to hold it together while I'm adhering this piece on, I'm going to put a piece of Post-it note tape just to hold it so they stay even. Okay, so we're just going to put that on the back. This is the front. You want these two pieces. It's going to be a pop-up. Hi, Tina. Hi, Belinda. Thanks for joining today. All right, so I have another panel of the Moody Mauve that is 3 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And this piece is going to go on the top, and this is going to be the one that pops up a little bit. Okay. And I am going, well, I was going to use liquid glue, but I think I'm going to use tear and tape. I just feel a little more confident. And actually, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape in the middle. Then I don't have to worry about it coming apart, and I don't have to worry about taking, I could take this piece off. I just feel a lot more confident keeping this. Okay. Been using tear and tape a lot more. I use liquid glue often because it gives me that little bit of wiggle room, which when I'm doing cards I need, especially if I'm doing layers. Excuse me. I need that little bit of wiggle room. So we're just gonna put the tear and tape just inside. Nobody's gonna ever see this because that panel is gonna extend over. And I'm actually gonna put it across the top and bottom, and that'll give a little bit more stability for when the card opens. The rest, I think I'm using liquid glue. All right. I'm going to take your pick tool so that I get it off a little easier today. Since I usually fight with this every week. How's everybody doing today? It's warm here in New Jersey, but there's a nice breeze, so I don't think it feels real warm. I like it out there. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so we want to leave, there's going to be like 1/8 of an inch border on it. Right, but the 1/8 of an inch is going to be over here and here. This is the 5.5. It's the same height as the card. Just going to put it just like that. Get my hand off it. And there you go. Oops, sorry, I'm shaking the table a little bit. And then I can remove this. I don't need this. This was just if I was using liquid glue to hold it in place. Use that for something else. There you go. This will pop up. Let's just give these a little fold again. These will go like that. Okay, we're going to decorate. But like I said, I did get some of the things done ahead of time because I figured you didn't have to watch me adhere all of the DSP. I just have the 2 pieces. And it's kind of like a sweater pattern. My daughter she helps me out a lot of times with deciding whether it's colors or DSP. I'll call her if I'm not sure what I want to use, especially if I'm not sure what I want to use. I'll call her and tell her to pick a stamp set or pick something. I had the stamp set picked out. I knew what I wanted to do. I had the design picked out, had everything. I just didn't know which DSP. And she said she thought I should use something that looked cozy. Said it needed to, if I'm doing a fall card, it had to be a cozy one. So that's what I went with. So these pieces, all the measurements are going to be on my blog. The Pretty Peacock is 1 3/8 by 5 3/8. And those are just going to go on the outside. And then the other one is, I think, 1 1/8. I'll let you know in 1 second. But everything will be on my blog on Friday, creativestampindesigns.com. And everything goes live at like 8 o'clock. So this is 1 1/8. So the outside one is 1 3/8, inside one is 1 1/8. I do have this all written down. I was afraid this card was going to take a lot longer than expected, so I wanted to make sure I had things done and prepped ahead of time. Hey Jamie, thanks for joining. So this one is just going to go here. The colors I use for this cart, they're just very fallish colors, I think. And that one there. I'm not going to adhere the top one yet because I'm going to do the decorating first, and I'm not sure if I'm wrapping a ribbon or anything around. So we're not going to adhere that piece. But the top piece, it's the same thing, the sweater pattern. So that'll be the card. And then it does stand up, no problem. Okay, so we're going to just set this here. Like I said, I did some of the prep work ahead of time. I cut out Cajun Craze and a pretty peacock, maple leaf. I think it's maple leaf. Jeez, I can't remember the leaves now. And then I cut out the vines from the copper, I think it's called copper, oh my goodness, oxide paper. Oh my, I can't remember the name of it. So I did cut these out ahead of time. And then I cut the Moody Mauve and Old Olive leaves. And I originally had cut, oops, out of the All About Autumn DSP, I had cut the Moody Mauve and the Old Olive, the one that has the, I guess the copper foil in it. And they had fallen, and I saw the other side. And I kind of like the other side with these, so I recut them because obviously they were facing the wrong way. And I kind of like those with that. I mean, the foil was okay for those, but I liked the backing. It just multicolored. So if you think the foil would look better, just put something in the comments and I'll use the foil because I'm going to emboss these right now with the embossing folder that I put down in my pot. There it is. Okay. I'm going to emboss them with the distress tile embossing folder. And I believe I could put them all in at once because it's just to give it the leaves some texture. So I'm just going to go and emboss these real quick. And when I come back, if you think I should use the foil for the mauve, Moody Mauve and Old Olive, let me know. I have both of them cut. Just run these through. Hello, Margette. Thank you for joining. I'm saying that right. Okay. So there, just gives the leaves just a little bit of texture. So I am going to adhere this, and I cheated. I put the adhesive strip, uh, the adhesive paper, or whatever it's called, on the back of these. So I didn't have to glue, but the other ones I have to glue. Oh, oh, okay, maybe the glue wasn't a good idea. All right, so we're just gonna set these right like that. I love this set. I think this is my favorite set from the catalog. I did use it the other day. I wasn't ready to use fall color, so I did do them in just green, since leaves are all green right now. But then when I was playing around with it with the fall colors, yeah, this one's going to be getting used a lot. This is going to be one of those sets that I hope will carry over into the annual catalog. There we go. Like I said, the embossing just gave it that little bit, I think you could see it, a little bit of texture. So did anybody, um, thank you, Jamie. I could not remember what it was called. Okay, so this one's gonna go, and I do have to use liquid glue on this one. Make sure I have it the right, yeah, that's the right one. Of course, the glue's not coming out. I don't want to shake it because I know what'll happen. I'll get a big blob all at once. We're gonna set this down because this might work a little better. If you do not have one of these silicone, oh my goodness, one of these silicone sheets, sorry, my glue just doesn't want to come out. And I'm just afraid to give it too much of a squeeze. And the vines are too thin for glue dots. Stampin' Seal make a mess because it's Stampin' Seal's too thick. Okay. Anyway, if you do not have one of these silicone mats, they are one of the best things. There we go. Ah, okay, I'm not going to fuss. We'll just let it glue down on its own. Same thing with this. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Get out of that mess. So as you could tell, putting the adhesive sheet on the back of DSP before you cut it is a really good idea. There we go. It's got to go up just a little bit though. Hmm. So next time I will cut it with the adhesive sheet because those went on nice, other than sticking to me a little bit, they went on nice and easy. There we go. Okay. This out of the way. Okay. So one other thing I wanted to try, and I had seen this I cut a piece of, what is it called? Is the 1 inch natural ribbon. It comes from the natural or the copper and natural ribbon combo pack. It's all part of the suite. Okay. And I wanted here it right on here, and my copper ribbon has all unraveled so nicely for me. I'm just going to tie in the middle, and I'm going to hope this works because I did not try this yet. I should never do something like this live without trying it. But if it doesn't work, I have more ribbon and I will just cut a piece and just put it flat. Okay, let's see if I could tie a bow with this. I don't mind tying bows, but I have this thing about tying them live. But I wanted you to see how I was going to do this. It's sticking. Ugh. 1 second. Oh my goodness. I didn't. Gave myself too short of a piece. So I didn't disconnect or cut it yet, but I need a little more to work with. And however my ribbon comes out or my bow, that's the way the ribbon's going to go. Trim it when I'm done. All right, I'm going to leave the bow big because I can always make it smaller. Oops. My hands are, they're actually not real sticky. They're dry. And the ribbon is just sticking to me. Okay. So my plan was to put this in the middle, but I wanted to unravel it first. But I wanted to make sure I tied the ribbon to hold it. Okay, that's good enough. Let me cut this before I unravel the whole thing. And well, it's actually not going to go too far since I have the ribbon tied. Now let's see if I can get this side to do the same thing. Goodness. There we go. It actually unravels very easily. It's just stuck right here. Unless you have a knot. Okay, let's see if I cut this off, if that'll help. I'm going to have thread all over my room. Come on, I keep getting stuck in this one spot. Not sure why. I'm determined this is going to work. There we go. There's one spot over here that it keeps getting, and there's nothing there. Other side unwound really easy. Let's see. Just need a little bit more to unravel. It's got to be something right here holding it. This is why I had a lot of it prepped ahead of time, just in case. It's not liking something right here, but I haven't figured out what. I don't see a knot or anything. You know what? That's going to work. I'm going to move my bow a little bit. Just move the bow up a little bit. because I know I'm probably gonna have to trim this. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna adhere this down, and I had threads everywhere. Um, hmm, yeah, I'm gonna use a little Stampin' Seal just underneath the solid part. I'm gonna have the longer frayed piece down. Let's see where I put my seal. And I'm gonna trim this up a little bit once I get the leaves on. And I'll give this a little trim also. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of put my leaves in. And they can extend out a little bit. They cannot extend up. So actually what I'm going to do is I'll go over, but I want to put them on with dimensionals. So I needed the dimensionals on this side. And I'm just going to put 2 for now because I can always, once I'm done, I've gone in and I can put a couple extra. If I need be, you can kind of slip them right underneath. And I will have to go in. I could see because it's the way it is. This one we'll put on this side. No, it's going to go to the ribbon, I think. And I can give those the little things a haircut if I need be. There we go. Come on, there we go. So kind of put this one underneath. I'm actually going to put a little liquid glue on this one, I think. Oops. I'll put a little liquid glue and I'll just set this right on the ribbon. That should hold perfectly. So I don't know if the dimensional will hold on the ribbon. Give it just a second there. What I'm going to do, I have part of the leaf that is not overlapping the ribbon, and I will put a dimensional under that right there. So that'll hold that one down. And then this one will go over here, and then I'll give this a trim. But I am going to trim this over my garbage. I'm just going to put a little glob right there. And I don't want to push too much because I don't want it to seep through. And again, I'm going to just take a dimensional where it's not not on the ribbon, and just kind of sneak it underneath. And I do this a lot, that if, I'll something like this, I'll put just a couple dimensionals and then go in and sneak them underneath. All right, and I'll give just a little bit of a trim on this. But again, I'm just going to go to the side because I want to trim it over the garbage because I really don't want that mess. Okay, now adhere this to the card front here, just like that. And I'm going to use liquid glue for that I just closed up. She finds the dimensional, she finds the paper, she finds everything to chew on, Amy. I know all puppies go through that, but I don't remember my last one going through it this bad. She'll hide. I don't think, oh, she's actually not in here with me. Usually she's in here hiding under my table. And if I drop a paper and all of a sudden I hear some chewing, I know she got it. All right. Close this up. And I have, everything was falling before. I have the sentiment. I love this sentiment. It's Autumn teaches us, I can't even read it, teaches us that change can be beautiful. A little hard to say. And I just have a panel of Very Vanilla. I'm just going to use my embossing buddy. I'm going to emboss the sentiment. I guess it would have helped if I got my Versamark out. And I have copper embossing powder. I can put my ribbon scissors away. I'm done with those. I have copper embossing powder that I'm going to use to go with the copper paper. I'm just going to just stamp it right in the middle of the paper. I'm going to close this because I really don't want the embossing powder in my ink. I'm going to cut it out anyway, so the little bit on the edge is okay. I'm going to get my heat tool. And the Stampin' Up! Heat tool has two settings, 1 and 2. 1 is for drying. So if I'm going to move it out of the way, away from the speaker a little bit. If you're impatient and want something to dry quickly, you would put it on 1 and you can dry it that way. Or 2 is for the heat embossing. I just, while I'm waiting for this to heat up, just one, there we go. There's one little speck. Well, I'm not burning my finger. Years ago, I had a sentiment similar to this, having to do with the changing with the leaves and let's see, I'll have to hold this up higher. There we go. Just don't want to burn my fingers. Okay. That should be good. And I am going to die cut it with one of the frame, I guess frame dies from the Autumn Leaves dies. And I will be right back. Oops, on my plate. Leave off to emboss and let's put it back. Yeah. And I did drop something and I'm not sure where it went. There it is. At the heat gun on and forgot about little papers that I had on my table. I am going to just adhere this to the bottom with dimensionals, just like that. I lost my take. There it is. Take your pick tool. And I use just little half dimensionals. Seems to be the perfect size. Okay, so we're just going to put this flat, get this piece out of the way because it's bothering me. And I'm just going to put it right on the bottom like that. And there you go. So that's the card front. I got to do more trim. I'll do it later. I do have a few of the embellishments to put on because I had to use the whole suite. I just had to. And I'm going to use the Old Olive, or no, these are Mossy Meadow. Oh, they look like Old Olive to me. I write the colors on all my embellishments. I always put the colors on the front so I know what color is in them when I'm looking for them. It says Mossy Meadow, but that looks really close to the Old Olive. But these are really pretty too. The what are they called? The speckled adhesive back speckled dots. And I'm just gonna put one down there, just so I can add a little bling. All right, we're going to do the card back. Thank you, Carol. Oops. Ah. Okay, so I have my embossed panels. Now I'm going to try something else. This card today is full of doing different things, we'll say. All right, so I need 2 panels for the back, but the way I wanted to do this, they had to go on, I needed to do it on one, so I know instead of, I could do 2 side by side, but I'm going to stamp the leaf in the center. Let's see if I can get this now. And then I'm going to cut it in half. So we're going to stamp it just like right in the center. That was Old Olive in full strength. And I'm going to stamp the leaf part. Let's get scrap paper in Old Olive stamped off once. But I have to do it upside down because sometimes I just need to stamp upside down. Try to line these up. I'm hoping I'm still in the camera. Sometimes these could be tricky, especially for me. Close that. And then I need to get my paper trimmer because this panel needed to be, I believe it's 1 5/8 inch. So I'm going to cut it right in half. And my leaf is off just a little bit. It was supposed to be over a little more, but it's off a little bit. But that's okay. I don't think anybody's going to really notice. And I'm not putting a sentiment on the back because I don't know what sentiment to put. And I figured I have the sentiment on the front. So this card could be used for anything at all. You have the front sentiment, and then you could just pick something for the back. Gives you a little bit of writing room, not much, but you have between the two pieces. And then I have two little pieces. This was just a piece that I cut off from the DSP from the card front. We'll just incorporate it on the back a little bit. Just like that. Whoops. That's why I use liquid glue. Okay. Card. And this was the centerpiece. These are just going to go on the back now. This card will definitely take extra postage, I could tell you that. Second, while I'm waiting for that to dry, we'll do the envelope flap real quick and we're done. It went over. I like to try to stick to the half hour. It went over a little bit, but even with as much as I got done ahead of time, I had a feeling it was going to go over because of the scoring and just showing you how to make this. If you do make the card, my card will be live on my blog and Facebook Friday morning at 8 o'clock. If you make the card, in the comments on Facebook, feel free to post a picture of your card because I really like seeing what everybody does. And if this set is if the whole suite is not on your wish list already, I really suggest putting it on. And I did stamp a couple leaves earlier on the front. And there we go. So I'm leaving the back. I'm not, like I said, I'm not putting any sentiment on the back. And that is my card today with the matching envelope. All right, and it does, like I said, it does stand up. And this one, like I said, could be used for anything. You have the autumn saying, and then you can either stamp a sentiment or just, you have between the two sides, you can write something on the back. All right, I hope you like it and you'll give it a try. All the measurements and directions, the best that I can do, along with a link to the video will be on my blog Friday morning at 8 a.m. at creativestampindesigns.com. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at creativestampindesigns@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you out if you're having trouble with any of the measurements or anything, or you just need help with anything at all. Feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. Thank you everyone for joining, and I will plan on being back next Wednesday, same time. Thank you. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.